This video is about to be so foolish.
Don't play with me, oh, go play in some traffic. Don't play with me, oh, this shit gon' get graphic. They say that I'm the
Orion. I want parts. Orion. Oh, God, he's so goddamn sexy. He's so fucking sexy. Like, first of all, I want y'all to know that he's my man. I feel like that goes without saying at this point because my list is very long, y'all already know, and you don't have access to any of them. So he, of course, is on the list, on my list, and you need to back up off my man. That's just it. That's just it. Orion is apparently doing OnlyFans. I didn't know that he had OnlyFans. Is it that he just started it or something? Either way, the way I found out was probably the way the rest of y'all found out, is that there were some videos that was on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say, right? There were some videos that was on Twitter. Obviously, they came from his OnlyFans, and I mean, there were a range of images. One in particular, he was doing some jumping jacks. Now, I hated PE class. I really did. I hated all that shit. But it's just, I can get athletic if he wants me to. I could play a sport if he wants me to do some, he wants me to be serious about exercise. This man was doing jumping jacks and had no clothes on. I was like, yo, if I just wanted to be the floor in that moment. I just wanted to be the floor. I'm not gonna describe too much. You could go look for yourself. Now, I'm gonna be honest, there was a particular photo shoot that happened. I think I'm gonna use it in my thumbnail. There's a particular photo shoot that happened. I was like, huh? With Omarion and Orion. I was like, these niggas is, I mean, we already know, but still, like, that was the one where I was like, wait, you know? I was like, huh? And then, I don't know what happened. He went on there, he went on some interview talking about, oh, you girls need to let the juices fly and don't be afraid. I was like, but then he went up on the stage, was it Versus or something? And he started eating watermelon with his brother. I was like, what's going on? I've been drinking watermelon. I was like, huh? I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand what was going on. But these videos leaked and I understood what was going on. I understood the assignment. He understood the assignment. He got A+ on it. He got extra credit, actually. Let me tell you something. He got an anaconda. And bitch, the only way I would turn into a plane is if his snake was on it. You talk about snakes on a plane, I would turn into JJ the jet plane if he want to put a snake in something or something. I'm so serious. Child, tell me why I saw this. Okay, I saw this immediately before I started recording this video, okay? Just look at this shit.
Ma'am, you don't need to tell baristas that I'm an asshole because I have an opinion. Get your drink and go away. I can have an opinion like everybody else. Why are you entitled to an opinion and not me?
This Christian Walker is an absolute menace. He obviously is effective in getting everybody on the internet to know who he is and know his face. For better or worse, in my case, it's the worst. But an absolute menace. Kehlani looking at this man like, cause all you can do is smile. All you can do when you're in the presence of a court jester, that's what Kehlani knew. She knew. When you're in the presence of a court jester, all you can do is smile and laugh in her face. Like, this man talking about, oh my God, so you can have an opinion and I can. Just very effective social media troll. That's what Christian Walker is. And then he gonna post this shit talking about, the first line said, I think I was listening to a Kehlani song yesterday. Sister girl didn't know who she was dealing with. Don't let the Givenchy and smile fool you. I will step out of the car. Step out of the car and do what, Christian? Step out of the car and do what? Don't let the Givenchy fool you, girl. And it's just like, okay, Givenchy or Walmart, honey, it doesn't matter. You're still wearing a whole entire thick ass hoodie in the middle of summer directly underneath the sun. You barely even have no trees to shade your ass. Kehlani handled that shit so well. She did, because I was just like, Christian Walker walking up to, okay, just close your eyes right now. Just close your eyes, And imagine Christian Walker speeding up to you right now. But imagine like some dabs of clown makeup on his face. Like just running up to you real quick, like out of nowhere, like it's a jump scare. What's the first thing you're gonna do? You're either gonna do this or you're gonna fucking laugh. You're gonna fucking laugh. Like, and that's what Kehlani did, but she was sitting in that car like, bitch, I wish you would. I wish you, like, what do you even, there's no sense of threat, there's no sense of urgency, just a clown doing what clowns do. Okay, so speaking of trolling, Orlando Brown is a whole entire troll, right? Now, before I laughed at what this man said in this interview, just like this clip went viral, and so I had to go. I literally had to go watch the interview because the shit that he was saying was so obnoxious that a lot of people were concerned. Like, is he okay? Is he still, struggling with certain, issues that we've been seeing Orlando Brown's journey and stuff. So we were just like, I was concerned too. I was like, is he good? Is he good? Do y'all have this man up here who's struggling to dealing with certain personal problems and using him as, entertainment for your interview? But I watched the entire interview and it doesn't seem like Orlando Brown is like in trouble or really, really obviously, at least from the outside looking at it, obviously struggling with something. It just looks like he was trolling that entire interview. Like, I don't know. But one of the things he said was, I guess somebody asked him if he had a problem with Bow Wow. He said, I ain't got a problem with Lil Bow Wow. He said, Lil Bow Wow got some bomb ass pussy. And I was just like, huh? Like, Okay. So yeah, a clip like that going viral of Orlando Brown talking about, oh, Bow Wow got some bomb ass pussy, obviously reminds us of the time that the shit he said about Nick Cannon and all that. So like, people were like, is he good? Is this nigga okay? Like, but like I said, it was like 25 minutes. I like watched through it doesn't seem like he's like fucked up. It just seems like he was joking. The whole entire interview, even the interviewer was joking with this nigga as soon as he came on. So I don't know. It could just be some outlandish, crazy shit that he says, because it obviously worked because I watched the interview. Like outlandish, crazy shit that he just said. I just wonder how Bow Wow feels, because if it was me, I'd be like, you know what? Yes, I do have some bomb ass pussy. I do have some bomb ass pussy. The only issue, that's what I would say. The only issue is like, how would you know about that? I'm honored because this pussy does what the pussy needs to do, right? I'm like, yeah, of course I got some bomb ass pussy, what you mean? I'm like, but when do it becomes, how do you know? That's what I'm like, how do you know? So y'all already know that Carisha got a show called Carisha Please. Young Miami got a show. And I guess the next guest on her show is gonna be Kevin Gates. And the thing they used to promote it was Kevin Gates talking about fucking his cousin. And I'm like, why? And being unapologetic too. He said, I ain't gonna stop. After he found out, he said, I ain't gonna stop. I'm just like, why do we need to? We ain't got nothing to talk about. What Portia said, y'all mouth not trying to talk about the same thing. Like, oh my God, we ain't got nothing else to talk about? We ain't got nothing else to talk about? But we can talk about this. Listen to this real quick. So John Bolton, you already know, he was a previous fucking national security advisor. He was on CNN with Jake Tapper and some crazy shit. He said some crazy shit. But we shouldn't be surprised, right? So we already know how all these ex-Trump staffers and stuff are coming out. Like, oh my God, I had no idea who Trump was before he started campaigning, while he was campaigning, and while he was in presidency. But now that he's not president anymore and he's under scrutiny and all that shit, suddenly I'm taken aback by all the things that he's done. So I'm now gonna be in all these hearings and telling you everything that happened and how he's throwing plates at me and shit, and I tolerate it like the weak ass follower dog that I am. So of course they always having, conversations about January 6th on CNN and how the government ate itself. I'm just so bored. John Bolton went up there and said, okay, because Jake Tapper was just like, this is a clip I saw. Jake Tapper was like, oh, you don't necessarily have to be brilliant in order to attempt a coup. And of course, John Bolton's ass-kissing ass gonna say, well, actually you do. He said, as someone who has helped plan coup d'etats, not here, but other places, it takes a lot of work. So that's what he said. So I was just like, wow. So I guess we have been for a while, but we're really in the time where we're saying the quiet parts out loud about this government, right? But on CNN, and Jake Tapper was just like, oh, okay, yeah, you've helped. And they literally moved on from that statement, just continued the interview. So I'm just like, okay. okay. As someone who's helped play coup d'etat, yeah, they're pretty tough to pull off. Oh my God. I just think about when Ariana Grande licked those donuts and said she hated America. It's just like, wow, she was so far ahead of her time. Why was she dragged for that? Why was she dragged on CNN talking about coup d'etat? It's like, it's not shocking, right? Obviously we know that. At least if you have not succumbed to the propaganda of the United States, you know that they be overseas flipping tables and destroying people and destroying communities and shit. Like, you already know that shit. But to say that shit on CNN and just brought out in the open, I'm like, oh, so we're doing this now. Okay. And I guess the last thing I'll talk about is the James Webb Telescope. Y'all already know that I am a space nerd. I cannot help it. I cannot help it. James Webb is revolutionary because of how far it can see into the universe, or far back it can see into the universe. It uses infrared light to do so, right? For example, some of these galaxies that we see, and every dot here is a galaxy. If it doesn't have no spikes on it, it's a galaxy, right? So a lot of galaxies that we see here, even with the Hubble telescope, we were not able to see them, right? But in this image, I think it's a galaxy cluster known as SMACS 0723. I hate how to name that shit. But these are some of the very first galaxies to form in the universe. This one is called Cosmic Cliffs, but it is a picture of the Carina Nebula, and it's a stellar nursery in places where in space where there's a lot of gas and dust, like particularly gas built up like this. Like, that's how stars are created. Once enough gas, because of gravitational effects, like falls in on itself, that's when you get the star burning and all that shit. And it is 7,600 light years away from us, which obviously means that if we were to travel at the speed of light from Earth to try to get to this nebula, it would take us 7,600 years, which is just like, to give you an example of how much better James Webb is versus Hubble, this is a picture of the same nebula with Hubble, and this is how it looks with James Webb. By the way, some of the peaks here, because it looks like a mountain range, some of the peaks here are like 7 light years high. Now, this is the Southern Ring Nebula. You may be wondering, like, okay, there's a star in the middle, but there's like obviously a ring of gas around it. This is just a dying star releasing gas. That's what happens, right? Well, not the star farting. No, but and then you can see the Hubble comparison versus the James Webb comparison. I just love how the gays have taken this image and just the Galussi, like, I love the gays so much. Y'all are so annoying. But yeah, I thought that was cool. Whatever, y'all already know I'm a nerd. Thank y'all so much for watching. Love you so much. Do not forget to check out my description box for my other channel, youtube.com/AvatarAdrian, my Patreon, patreon.com/AdrianExpression, and my music and all that stuff. Y'all already know what's up. Be safe out here and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
I'm a real bitch, these hoes knock offs. You want my dick, so bitch hop off. Cause they gon' call me firecracker when I pop off. They guard is what I'm having, all these bitches caught off.